Right, Lamai, at first we will discuss case study. Case study of this paper. Okay, at first we will discuss case study. Right, Lamai, case study. Using the case, we need to provide answers. Part 2, okay, second paper, first question. Right, Lamai, go to the second paper, first question. Right, Lamai, second paper, first question. Right. This is a case study question. Using the given case, we need to provide answers. Second paper, first question. Huh? Second paper, first question. Right, now here. Question number 1 compulsory. Answer 5 questions, including question number 1 and 2. Questions from each part 1 and 2. And 2 questions from each part 1 and 2. Right. Now, at first we'll discuss this case. Okay, case study. Right. Now I go to the case study. Second paper, first question. Second paper, first question. Right. Right. Now I read this question. Read this question at first. Right. Now here. Using the following case, answer the question number 1 to 10. Answer the question number 1 to 10. Right. Now in my online class, I have now we are discussing chapter 6, double entry, dual impact of transaction. With the dual impact of transaction, we have discussed cash book. Okay, but still we have not discussed the structured format of the cash book. The structured format we need to discuss in chapter 8. Chapter 8. Okay, chapter 7. Yes, chapter 7 payment books. Still we have not discussed, and then chapter 8 cash book and petty cash book. But we'll discuss cash book questions. Okay, which are available in this paper. Right. I will give you some kind of idea regarding cash book. Now you know the dual impact of transaction, and therefore using that knowledge, you can balance a cash book question. Okay, right. Am I read that question? Taken into consideration of the higher demand of local rice in the market. Amaravilla started a business name Keller Atuvar on 1st March 2018 to purchase, pack and supply local rice such as Black Nutty, Pachaperimal, Sundal, etc. to the local market, which were grown only by limited number of farmers in Sri Lanka due to various environmental conditions. Elakia, can you hear me, Elakia?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Maisha, can you hear Maisha? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear.
Right. 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 Now here taken into consideration of the higher demand. Higher demand. Okay. Higher demand. Taken into consideration of the higher demand. One of the opportunity. One of the opportunity. Okay. Comes from the external environment. External environment. Already started the business on 1st March 2018 to purchase and supply local price such as Lakhinati, Pachaperimal, Sundal, etc. to the local market, which were grown only by limited number of farmers. Grown by limited number of farmers. Okay, right? Maybe a threat. Maybe a threat. Farmers in Sri Lanka due to various environmental conditions. Right. On the same day, he invested in only 500,000 and then 300,000 cash and 200,000 obtained by a bank loan, which is payable within 3 years at 14% annual interest. Right. And then following transactions were occurred for the month of March 2018. These are the transactions. These are the transactions occurred in the month of March 2018. What are the transactions? A purchase of packing equipment 90,000, purchase of fixed asset, purchase of fixed asset, purchase of packing material, right? Purchase of packing material, purchase of rice in cash, sale of rice in cash, fuel expenses incurred for lorry, sale of rice on credit, paid employee salaries, cash received from debtors, paid bill and 12,000, paid part of the bank loan 9,000. These are the transactions occurred in the business. Okay, these are the transactions occurred in the business organization. These are the transactions. Right. Right. These are the transactions occurred in the business organization. Right, Yugi, can you hear me, Yugi?
Yes, sir.
Right, right, right. Alright, these are the transactions. Right then, look at the question number 1. What is the type of business organization that Hella Atua business belongs to? Type of business organization. What type of business organization? If it is classified according to objective, which type does this business belongs to? Right, Ramai. Classification of business organization we have discussed in chapter 3. In chapter 3, we have discussed 5 methods. 5 methods to classify a business organization in chapter 3. In chapter 3, what we discussed? Business organization. Business organization. Under chapter 3, we have discussed sole proprietorship, partnership, incorporated companies, cooperative societies, other associations, government department and government corporations. Government corporations. And then we discuss classification of business organization, right? Lamai, you know, there are 5 methods to classify business organization. Based on ownership, we can classify business organization as private sector and public sector business organization. Public sector means business belongs to government. Business belongs to government. What are the private sector business organization? Sole proprietorship, partnership, incorporated companies, other association, cooperative societies. And then public sector business organization, government department, government corporations, government companies. Okay, right. Based on ownership, right. And then students, based on objective, we can classify business organization. Based on objective. How to classify based on objective? Profit objective business and non-profit objective business. Non-profit objective business. Okay, non-profit objective business trying to provide social services. Okay. Case study. Second paper, first question. Right. This is my profit oriented and non-profit oriented business. Incorporated companies, sole proprietorship, partnership, incorporated companies, government companies belongs to profit oriented business. Non-profit oriented, government department, government corporations, cooperative societies, other association, non-profit oriented business organization. Right, and then now we classify business based on scale. We classify business based on scale. Now, to classify business based on scale, we use 4 criteria. What are they? Based on amount of capital. Okay, we can classify business as small and medium scale or large scale business. And then based on number of employees. Based on number of employees, we can classify business. Based on number of employees. Okay. Census and Statistics Department says that if employees are less than 25, if employees are less than 25, that business belongs to small and medium scale business. And then the next one, based on the market share. Based on the market share, we can classify business organization, small scale or large scale business, based on market share. And then next one, based on energy consumption, based on energy. Central Bank of Sri Lanka classify business as small, medium scale or large scale business based on energy. Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Okay, Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Right. And then these are three methods available in chapter 3. But another two methods are there. Another two methods. Okay, altogether we have 5 methods. Okay, altogether we have 5 methods to categorize business organization. First one based on ownership, second one objectives, third one based on scale, fourth one is based on the nature of the product. Nature of the product in chapter 1 we discussed based on the nature of the product. Commodity manufacturing business and service providing business. Based on the nature of the product. Commodity manufacturing business and service providing business. And then fifth one is based on the business type. Based on the business type. Most of the time, examiner test questions from the business type of the business. From this method. Type of the business. Then based on the type of business, business type. Sole proprietorship, partnership, incorporated company, government department, government corporations, okay, cooperative societies, and then government, the government department, government corporations, government companies. Then those are the type of business organization. Type, business type. Most of the time, examiner asks questions from the business type. What type of business? Type of business. Then you need to write down the type of the business. Okay, right. Then students here, in this question, what is a type of business organization that Helato business belongs to? What type of business? What type of business? When you sending answers, send answers to the host. Answers host one answers. Right. Okay, right. What type of business organization Helato? Yes, correct. Yes, correct. Sole proprietorship business. Sole proprietorship business. Sole proprietorship business. Okay, sole proprietorship business. Yes, Rashad, correct. Sole proprietorship business. And then question number 1 now. Question number 1, what type of business? Sole proprietorship business. And then second one, if it is classified according to objective, which type does this business belongs to? Based on objective, profit oriented business. Based on objective, profit oriented business. Profit motive business. Profit objective business. Okay, right. Then students, Roman number 2. Look at the Roman number 2. Roman number 2. Write 2 objectives expected from this business. 2 objectives of this business. Grade 10, chapter 1, objectives of business. 2 objectives expected from this business are earning profit, increasing customer satisfaction, increasing quality of goods and services, employee welfare, generating employment opportunities. Okay, objectives. Okay, you need to apply grade 10, chapter 1, objectives of business organization. Okay, answer for the Roman number 2. Answer for the Roman number 2. Right, look at the Roman number 3. What's the answer for the Roman number 3? Right, 2 parties belongs to the external environment of Helato business.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, what is the answer for the Roman number 1 again?
Roman number 1, what type of business? The first one, what type of business Helato business belongs to? Sole proprietorship business. Okay, and then if classified according to objective, profit oriented business, profit motive business. Okay, right. Problem number 3, right? Two parties belongs to the external environment of relative business. In chapter 3, we discuss business environment. In chapter 3, we discuss business environment. Okay, right. Business environment we discuss in chapter 3, business environment. Right. Now, we can classify business environment into two. Internal environment and external environment. Internal environment and external environment. What are the internal environmental factors? Owners, managers, and employees. Internal environmental factors. Parties and forces within the business and affected to the business. Parties and forces who are within the business and affected to the business. Internal environment. External environment. Parties and forces who are outside of the business and affected the business organization. They are outsider, but they influence the business organization. External environment. What are the external environmental factors? What are the external environmental factors? Customers, suppliers, competitors, and then political environment, legal environment, political environment, legal environment, and then technological environment, and then economic environment, and then global environment. Like that. Political, legal, technological, economic, and global environment. Okay, right. Yes, right. Those are the external environmental factors. Political, legal, technological, global, and global. Yes. Okay, and then customers, suppliers, competitors also belongs to external environment. Okay, under the political environment, we have discussed government policies and actions affected to business organization. Government policies and actions. Okay, under political environment, we have discussed fiscal policy and infrastructure development policy. Okay, and then under legal environment, we have discussed some of the laws and regulations imposed by the government to protect customers, local business organization, and environment. Okay, legal environment. Under legal environment, we discuss Consumer Affairs Authority Act number 9 of 2003, Companies Act number 7 of 2007, and then Shop and Office Employees Act number. Okay, I can't remember the act number of that. Shop and Office Employees Act number 5 of 1972, right? Right. Yes. Shop and Office Employees Act. Shop and Office Employees Act belongs to legal environment. Sorry, Shop and Office Employees Act number 14 of 1954. Shop and Office Employees Act number 14 of 1954. Okay, these are the legal environment factors we discuss. And then under technological environment, we have discussed technological impact to business organization. And then on economic environment, we discuss economic factors affected to business organization. What are the economic factors? Interest rate, inflation, income distribution, level of employment, international relations, foreign exchange rate, savings. Okay, economic environmental factors. And then global environment. Under the global environment, we discuss globalization, and then impact of global environment to our country. Okay, impact of global environment to our country. Right, and then under global environment, we discuss advantages of globalization and disadvantages of globalization. Right, and then students, what are the main objectives of studying business environment? To identify sort. By studying internal environment, we can identify strengths and weaknesses. By studying external environment, we can identify opportunities and threats. These are the main advantages of studying business environment. These are the main objectives of studying business environment. To identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay, right, right. Then students, here in this question, state, right, two parties belongs to external environment of Hilato business. Right, two parties belongs to external environment of Hilato business. Right, am I? Two parties. What are the two parties belong to external environment in this Hilato business? Two parties, am I? Two parties. Yes, suppliers. Suppliers are available here. Suppliers, we can get direct answers, which are grown only by limited number of farmers. Suppliers, 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 and then another one. Yes, customer also we can get customers. Okay, right, customers. Another one we can get direct answer. Here, he obtained a bank loan. Then financial institutions, external environmental factor. At first, it is better to take answers from the given case. Okay, here limited number of farmers, suppliers, and then bank loan. You can write down customers also. Okay, right. Clear. Competitors here. Chemical, we need to get answers directly from the case. There is nothing about competitors in this given case study. But better to get answers from the case at first. If answers are not available in the case, we can apply. Okay, we can write the answer using theoretical parts. Okay, using the lesson. Here, there's a higher demand. Yes, high demand from customers, not high competition. Customers. Right. Fourth one, row number 4, state and opportunity. State and opportunity and threat that can be seen in this market. One of the opportunity and threat. One of the opportunity. One of the opportunity. Yes, one of the opportunity. There's a higher demand for local rice in the market. There's a higher demand. One of the opportunity. There's a higher demand. One of the opportunity. There's a higher demand. Opportunity. And then threat. One of the threat. Yes, Lamai, limited number of farmers due to various environmental conditions. Okay, limited number of farmers due to various environmental conditions. Right. Opportunity and threat. Okay, right. Right. Row number 5. Look at the row number 5. Write the accounting equation of the business as at 1st March 2018 with values. Write the accounting equation. Right here, it is better to write down basic accounting equation. For this answer, for this question. Okay, the basic accounting equation. Write the accounting equation for this business as at 1st March. Okay, now when you're writing answers for this question, don't write these transactions for that question. These are the transactions occurred in March month. In that question, you need to write down answer for the 1st March. Okay, the answer for the 1st March. Okay, right. Only starting date. Now here, right, that he started his business on 1st March 2018. Then on that day, accounting equation. On the same day, he invested his own lorry worth of 500,000 and then 300,000 cash back. He obtained 200,000 bank loan. He obtained 200,000 bank. Right then, how to write the accounting equation? How to write the accounting equation? Answer for the Roman number 5. Now I answer for the Roman number 5. Assets of the business organization equal to equity and liability. Equity and liability. Here accounting equation for the 1st March. 1st March. Okay, right. Then now he invested 500,000 lorry. He invested 500,000 lorry. Then motor vehicle of the business organization increased by 500,000 and then equity increased by 500,000. Motor vehicle increased by 500,000, equity increased by 500,000. He invested his motor vehicle and then 300,000 cash. He invested 300,000 in cash. Cash increased by 300,000 and then equity increased by 300,000. Cash increased by 300,000, equity increased by 300,000. Okay, right. And then students, and then on that day he obtained a bank loan. He obtained a bank loan. Cash increased by 200,000. Cash increased by 200,000. Liability increased by 200,000. This is the accounting equation. Okay, on 1st March, on that date, then Lamai, how are the total assets of the business? How are the total assets? Total assets 1 million. And then total equity 800,000. Total liability 200,000. Right. This is the accounting equation for the Roman number 5. Accounting equation for the Roman number 5. Okay, the accounting equation for the Roman number 5. Okay, ne? Right, ne? Right. Accounting equation for the Roman number 5. Right. Right, Lamai, look at the Roman number 6. Look at the Roman number 6. Look at the Roman number 6. Right. Lamai, still we have not discussed primary books, but I will give you some kind of idea regarding primary books. Huh? Lamai, please remove this except this word. Please remove this word. Huh? Please remove this word. You need to remove this word. Except. Remove this word. Huh? Right. And then here, write the 6 mention the primary book and relevant source document should be maintained by this business. Okay. One of the primary book and source document. Right. Students, we will discuss. Okay, we'll discuss. We'll discuss primary books. We'll discuss primary books. Okay, I will give you some kind of idea. Right now, in chapter 7, we can discuss primary books. Okay, later we'll discuss. Later we'll discuss, but I will give you some idea. Right now, accounting process starts with transactional events. Transactional events we discuss in chapter 4. Still, we have not discussed chapter 4 in detail. Okay, later we need to complete notes available in the chapter 4. Accounting process starts in chapter transaction and events. I think in your school you may have learned transaction and events. Okay, accounting process starts with transaction and events. And then after occurring the transaction or events, business prepare source documents. Source documents. If you purchase something from Cargill Food City, that Cargill Food City issue a bill. Cargill Food City issue a bill. That bill is the source document of your transaction. If you purchase if you purchase clothes from Tilakavardhana Textile, they issue a bill. That bill is the source document of your transaction. Okay, that bill is the source document of your transaction. Right, source document. At first, transaction events and the source document. After preparing source documents, now some of the source documents prepared by the business, and then some of the source documents prepared by the supplier or some external party. All the source documents are not prepared by the business. Okay, right. Purchase invoice prepared by the supplier. Purchase invoice prepared by the supplier. Okay, fine. Then these source document transactions will record in payment books. Payment books. What are the payment books? In chapter 8, we can learn cash book and petty cash book. In chapter 8, we can discuss cash book and petty cash book. Cash book and petty cash book. In chapter 8. In chapter 9, we can discuss bank account and bank reconciliation, especially bank account. In chapter 8, we'll discuss discount received and discount allowed. Cash book and petty cash book. Right. In chapter 10, we can discuss sales journal, purchase journal, and general journal. In our class, we can discuss these things in detail. Bank account and bank reconciliation, we'll discuss in detail in our online class as well as in a physical class. So now these are the primary books: cash book, petty cash book, bank account, sales journal, purchase journal, and general journal. Okay, right. And then students, okay, what are the source document that we use for the cash book? Now you know the basic format of the cash book. Okay, is a ledger account. It's a ledger account. In the cash book, we record cash book debit side we record cash inflows. Cash book credit side we record cash outflows. When the business organization receiving cash, the business need to issue a receipt. Business issue a receipt. When the business organization pay cash, business organization prepare a payment voucher. Okay, receipt and payment vouchers we'll discuss in detail later. Right, receipt and payment voucher. Okay, when the business organization receiving cash to the payer, you need to issue a receipt. To the payer, you need to issue a receipt. Okay. Right. By retaining a duplicate copy, business issue original receipt to the cash payer. And then when you paying cash to someone else, you need to create a payment voucher. When you paying cash to suppliers, you need to create a payment voucher. In the payment voucher, accountant, finance manager need to they need to authorize that payment. How they authorize the payment on the payment voucher? They put the signature. They need to sign on the payment voucher. And then when supplier collecting cash from the business organization, supplier also need to put his signature on the payment voucher. He need to sign on the payment voucher. Then we have a written evidence regarding the transaction. Later, supplier cannot say that he didn't receive cash. Okay, when he getting cash, he need to sign on the payment voucher. He need to sign on the payment voucher. Then insurance for the cash receipts. Receipt is the source document. For cash payments, payment voucher is the source document. Then in the petty cash book, in the petty cash book, we record petty cash transaction, small cash transaction. Small cash transaction. Then for the petty cash book, source document is petty cash payment voucher. Source document is petty cash payment voucher. Right. In the chapter 9, we can discuss bank account. In the bank account, we record check transactions. Now in the bank account, we can deposit cash and checks. We can deposit cash and checks. And then we need to arrange payment via checks. Bank account means current account. Current account. If you have current account, you can transact via checks. You can issue checks. For all the payments of the bank account, you need to issue a check. By issuing checks, you can arrange cash payments to suppliers, bank account. Then what are the source documents of the bank account? What are source documents? If you have the textbook, go to chapter 7. Go to chapter 7. Right, Lamai, what are the source document of the bank account? Receipt, payment voucher, bank statement, check counterfoil, check return notification, check return notification. Okay, some of the source document related to bank account. And then in the sales journal, students we record. In the sales journal we record credit sales of trade goods. When you're selling stocks, not fixed asset. When you're selling stocks on credit basis, we record in sales journal. When you're purchasing goods on credit basis, we record in purchase journal. Now, in the sales journal, source document is sales invoice. When you sell something, you need to create a sales invoice. Cargill Food issue a bill. That bill is the sales invoice of the Cargill Food. When you're selling something by Cargill Food or Kiel Supermarket, they issue a bill. Then that bill is the sales invoice of Kiel Supermarket. For us, purchase invoice. For us, purchase invoice. For the Kiel Supermarket, sales invoice. Then students, in the when you're recording transaction in the sales journal, in the private book, the sales invoice is the source of it. Then in the purchase journal, purchase invoice. In the general journal, general voucher. We can discuss general journal in detail with chapter 10. Okay, general journal. Transactions that are okay. Transactions that cannot be recorded in any other primary book should be recorded in general journal. If you can't record the transaction in any other primary book, in these primary books, then those transactions should be recorded in general journal. We can discuss. We'll discuss in detail. General watches is also okay. Then here, in this question, right now we will move into the paper. Mention the primary book and minimum source document should be maintained by this business. Roman number 6. Look at the Roman number 6. Look at the Roman number 6. Look at the Roman number 6. Mention the primary book. A relevant source document should be maintained. Right now here, cash book. Cash book. One of the primary book is cash book. And then source document. Source document. So yes, receipt of payment voucher. Receipt of payment voucher. Receipt of payment voucher. Okay, right. Right, then I go to the Roman number 7. Go to the Roman number 7. 7. Ramai, for this question, you can write down sale of rice in cash for expenses, sales. Right. All right, Ramai, you can write down sales journal and sales invoice. For the row number 6, primary book, sales journal. Sale of rice on credit, you can record in sales journal. Then source document, sales invoice. Okay, another answer for the program number 6. Program number 6. Yes. This business can maintain 2 primary books, cash book and sales journal. Cash book and sales journal. Right. Now I look at the Roman number 6, sorry, 7. State non-current liability and non-current assets of this business with values. Non-current assets and non-current liability. Non-current liability, one of the long-term liability of this business. You see, we have not discussed non-current liability, non-current assets. But I know in a school you may have learned. You see, we have not completed chapter 4. But anyway, you have learned these things in in schools. One of the non-current liability, one of the long-term liability. Bank loan. You need to write with values. Bank loan 200,000. Non-current liability for that one answer. Non-current liability for that one answer. Bank loan 200,000. Bank loan 200,000. And then non-current asset. Non-current asset. Yes, Rashid, correct. Non-current asset. Non-current assets. Lorry 500,000. Lorry 500,000. Another non-current assets. Purchase of packing equipment. My packing equipment 90,000. Another non-current asset. Okay, one is lorry 500,000. Second non-current asset is packing equipment 90,000. There are 2 non-current assets of this business. Clear? Clear? Tishari, clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now my next one. Problem number 8. write the transaction with amounts which affect to decrease the asset and liabilities of this business. It should be write a transaction. Write a transaction with amounts which affect to decrease asset and liabilities of the business. In the accounting equation, okay, write the transaction which affect to decrease asset and decrease value of liability. Asset decrease, liability decrease. Now, what's the transaction? Paid part of bank loan 9,000. Paid part of bank loan 9,000. Cash asset decreased by 9,000. Liability decreased by 9,000. Liability decreased by 9,000. Okay, clear? For the 8 transaction, for the 8 question, this is answer. Paid part of the bank loan 9,000. If the business paid for the bank loan, cash decrease, asset decrease, liability decrease, bank loan liability decrease by 9,000. Clear? Answer for the 8. Roshan, clear? Roshan, clear? Ella, clear? Elakia, clear?
Yes,
Right. Devin, clear? Right. Ishu, clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. 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 Problem number 9. Write the double entry for the transaction took place 28 March 2018. You can write down. Write the double entry for the transaction took place 28 March. 28 March. 28 March. Cash received from debtors 10,000. How to write the answer for this question? Received cash from debtors 10,000. How to write the answer for this question? How to write the answer? 28 February, 28 March, 28 March, 28 March. Okay, 9th question. 9th question. Receiving cash from debtors. 9th. 9th. Receiving cash. Am I right? How to pass double entry for the 9th one? Receiving cash from debtors. Cash inflow. Then cash book debit. Cash book debit. Cash book debit 10,000. Cash book debit 10,000. Debtors. Debtors account credit 10,000. Cash inflow, cash book debit. Increasing asset, asset account debit. Decreasing asset, asset account credit. Receiving cash from debtors means increasing cash asset. On the other hand, decreasing debtor asset. Cash debit, debtor asset. Then how to write the answer for the 9th one? Write the double entry for the transaction took place 28th March. Write the double entry. How to write the double entry for that one? At first, you need to imagine the cash book. Receiving cash, cash book debit. How to write the double entry? Write the double entry like this. Cash book debit. Cash book debit 10,000. You need to write the double entry. If examiner asks you to write the double entry, you need to write the double entry like this. Cash book debit. Receiving cash, cash book debit, you know. Cash book debit 10,000. And then debtors account credit. Debtors account credit 10,000 cash. Sorry, yes. Debtors account credit 10,000. Cash would be 10,000. Debtors account credit 10,000. This is how you pass double entry. This is how you need to record. You need to write the double entry. When you write in double entry, if examiner asks you to write the double entry, you need to write the double entry like this. Cash book debit. Cash book debit, yes. Cash book debit 10,000. Cash book debit 10,000. And then debtor credit. Debtors account credit 10,000. Okay. Right. Right. Now balance part of this paper we will discuss coming Sunday. Coming Sunday. Okay. Coming Sunday or coming Saturday. Balance part of this paper. We'll discuss coming Sunday or coming Saturday. Okay. Normally coming Sunday, Sundays we have classes from 5:30 to 7:30. In that time we discuss balance part of this paper or Saturday night. Feel free. Okay. I will inform you. Right. Right. And then in this week, in our physical classes also we are discussing papers. We are discussing papers. In Tine 10, yes, in Tine, right. Now my transaction, question number 10. Look at the question number 10. In question number 10, look at the question number 10. Prepare the cash book and calculate the cash flows of business as at 31st March 2019. Prepare the cash book. When you draw the cash book for the transaction number, question number 10, no need to draw structured format of cash book. Structured format of cash book you may have learned in school in chapter 8. Okay, but if school teacher asks you to draw structured format of the ledger cash book, no need to draw the structured format of the cash book. Otherwise, no need to draw structured cash book for the second paper first question. To get 2 marks, no need to draw structured format of cash book. Normally in the exam, normally in the O-level examination, for the structure, you can't get marks in the first question. Now, first question is case study question. In that question, for each Roman number, you can get 2 marks. To get the 2 marks, no need to do structured format of ledger account. Structured format of cash book. Okay, but in other questions, you need to draw. If examiner asks you to draw a ledger account cash book, if examiner asks you to draw a cash book in question number 5, 6, or 7, you need to draw structured format of cash book. Otherwise, for the first question, no need to draw structured format. But if you're a school teacher, okay, if your school teacher told you to draw the structured format, then you will have to draw. But normally, practically, no need to draw structured format of cash book for the first question in the second one. Okay, right, am I? This is a structured format. Let me discuss, Let me discuss structured format of cash book. Cash book. Structure. This is a structured format. Cash book debit, cash book credit. Debit side and credit side. When you're receiving cash, okay, you need to write down here receiving date. When you pay cash, you need to write down here cash paid date. Date. And then when you're receiving cash, you need to issue a receipt. Receipt number you will write down here, receipt number. When you pay cash, you need to create a payment voucher. Then voucher number you need to write down here, voucher number. Date, receipt number, voucher number. And then description. description. Description means opposite account name you need to write down in the description. Opposite account name. Name of the opposite account. He also said name of the opposite account. You will write down in the description line. And then here LF. Opposite account ledger page. Page number. Opposite account page number. LF. LF or LP. LF or LP. And then in the debit side we record discount allowed. Discount allowed. Discount given to customers. Alright, discounts basically we can divide into trade discount and cash discount. Here we record only cash discount. Trade discounts are not recorded.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, what stands for LF?
LF means ledger folio or ledger page. For example, let's say business organization, business owner invested 50,000 in cash. Then double entry is what? Double entry cash book debit 50,000. Capital account credit 50,000. Capital account credit 50,000. Cash inflow, cash book debit, and then increasing equity, capital account credit. Cash book debit, capital account credit. Let's say here, capital account is available in page number 51. Page number 51. Page number of the capital account 51. Then you will write down here 51. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Clear.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Okay. Here LF or LP. Let's say if you pay a salary expense of 10,000, salary 10,000. Then salary account is available in page number 79. Salary account. Salary account in page number 79. Then page number of salary account, you will write down here 79. LF or LP. Clear? Right. LF and LP. Now here, okay, when you're receiving cash from debtors, you are allowing discount to debtors. You can give discount to debtors. Discount allowed. We will discuss some chapter we can discuss. Discount allowed, we record in this slide. Discount allowed and then amount. When you pay cash to suppliers, supplier offer discount to your business. Discount receiving discounts. Then discount received we record in the credit side. When you pay cash, discount received and amount. Date, receipt number, voucher number, description, LF, discount allowed, discount received, amount. But I think in this time, examiner will not test a fully structured cash flow with discounts. Examiner will not test a cash book with discount. Definitely examiner will not test that kind of cash book with discounts. Therefore, don't worry about discounts. I know in most of the schools, okay, cash book has not been discussed properly. Therefore, don't worry about that. I think examiner will not test discount cash book with discount. Okay, right. This is a structured format of cash book, but no need to do a structured format of cash book for the first question in the second. We can use a T account format. Okay, T account format of cash book. T account of cash book, write down here. Cash book. Now in this cash book, allocate a space to write the amount. We will draw. Quickly draw a cash book. Draw a cash book. Right, shall we start? Right, look at the question. You know in the cash book, debit side cash inflow, credit side cash outflow. Look at the question. Right, am I? Right. When you completed the cash book, you need to read the question carefully. If it is a cash inflow, cash book debit. If it is a cash outflow, cash book credit. We have discussed the theory of cash book. Inflow debit, outflow credit. Right, am I? Look at this question. Here, in the second para, on the same day he invested his own lorry 500,000. Is it a cash inflow outflow? Investing a lorry?
It's neutral.
Outflow.
No impact to cash. Investing a lorry, no impact to cash. He provided lorry. And then 300,000 cash. Yes, cash inflow. 300,000 cash inflow. Then insurance, cash book debit, capital 300,000. Cash book debit 300,000 capital. Cash book debit 300,000 capital. Cash inflow. Cash book debit capital account credit. Cash book debit capital account credit.
Sir,
Yes.
can you please write the double entry of that lorry for me?
Double entry of the lorry.
Lorry.
Motor vehicle account debit, capital account credit.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Motor vehicle account debit. Receiving asset name.
Sir, for those, do you have to draw the T account or ledger account?
For the cash book.
No, for the debit side.
Debit side, capital.
It's okay, sir.
Okay, this is a cash book, cash account. Cash account. Okay, receiving cash book, debit, here capital. Capital account credit. Capital account credit, okay, right. And then obtain a bank loan. Obtain a bank loan, 200,000. Receiving bank loan, cash inflow, then cash book debit, bank loan account credit. Then insurance, cash book debit, bank loan. Cash book debit, bank loan, 200,000. Cash book debit, bank loan 200,000. Bank loan account credit. Cash book debit, bank loan account credit. Cash book debit, bank loan account credit. Okay, cash book debit, bank loan account credit. Right. Right. Right, and then now I look at the transactions. What are the transactions? Purchase packing equipment, cash inflow, outflow, cash outflow. Then cash book credit, packing equipment. Packing equipment, cash outflow 90,000. Cash book credit 90,000. Packing equipment, cash book credit 90,000. Purchase of packing material 20,000. Cash outflow, packing material. Packing material, cash outflow 20,000. Packing material, cash outflow 20,000. Packing material. Purchase of rice in cash. Purchase of rice 130,000 cash outflow. Purchase of rice. Purchase of rice 130,000 cash outflow. Purchase of rice, cash outflow. And then insurance, sale of rice in cash 180,000. Sale of rice, cash inflow, outflow, cash. Like my sale of rice,
Cash inflow.
cash inflow, cash book debit. Sale of rice, cash inflow 180,000. And then my fuel expenses incurred for the lorry. Fuel expenses, fuel. Cash outflow 16,000. 16,000. So my next one. Sale of rice on credit 25,000. Credit sales. No impact to cash. Credit sales, no impact to cash. Okay, credit sales, no impact to cash. Paid employee salary is 40,000. Payment of salary, cash outflow. Salary. Salary cash outflow 40,000. 40,000. Cash received from debtors 10,000. Receiving cash from debtors. Cash inflow. Inflow. Debtor account credit. Cash book debit. Debtors 10,000. Debtors 10,000. Paid billing rent 12,000. Rent payment 12,000. Rent. Cash inflow outflow. Cash outflow. Paid part of the bank loan 9,000. Cash outflow. Bank loan. Payment of bank loan. Right. Done. Finished. But then students, right now you need to get the closing balance. You need to get the closing balance. Closing cash balance. Did we say total amount how much? Did we say total amount? $690,000. 690,000. Did we say total amount? And then transfer to credit side 690,000. Transfer to credit side 690,000. And then by 690,000 minus total cash payments. How much the balance carried down? How much the balance carried down? Balance carried down how much? How much the balance carried down? $373,000. Is it correct?
Sir, I got 317,000.
17,000. Yes. 373, ne? Closing cash balance. Balance carried down. $370.
Yes, sir, it should be 317.
70. All right. Right. Okay. No, 373. Closing cash balance. Closing cash balance 373. All right, Ravi. When you are talking about total balance of the credit side, when my answer is closing cash balance, not the total, huh? That is not the total. Receipts minus payments, remaining cash balance 373. We are talking about total cash balance. Now you need to get this total. No need to get this total 317. No need to get this total amount to get the closing cash balance. We have a shortcut method. 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 Now here 3 zeros, 3 zeros, 3 0, 3 0, 3 0, 3 0, 3 0. From 3 0 to 3 0. Closing cash flow. And then over here, fourth one 0, 0, 0, 6. 6, 6 plus 2, 8. 8 plus 9, 17. From 17 to 20. Yes, 0 from 17 to 20. To get next 0, 20. From 17 to 20, you need to put 3. From 17 to 20, you need to put 3. And then remaining balance 2. 17 to 20, then remaining balance 2. And then 2 plus 9, 11. 11 plus 2, 13. 13 plus 3, 16. 17. 17 plus 4, 20, 21, 22. From 22 to 29, you need to put 7. 29 and then remaining balance 2. 29, remaining balance 2. 2 plus 1, 3. From 3 to 6, you need to put another 3. 373. Closing cash balance 373. Now balance correct now. 373 balance brought forward 373. Yeah. Closing cash balance. Okay, then right now. Okay, then right. Right now, I case the equation done. Finish. Okay, right. Right. Then students, we can move into right. Now we can move into question number 2. Look at the question number 2. Look at the question number 2. Look at the question number 2. Right. Right. Question number 2, Roman number 1A. What is a business? What is a business? What's a business? Business is an economic activity which manufacturer provide goods and services to fulfill human needs and wants. Okay. In this time, examinable test is special. Examinable test ability is special. Okay. Business is an economic activity which manufacturer provide goods and services to fulfill human needs and wants. Right. Second one, B. Two functions of business. Two functions. What are functions of business? We have discussed. We have process. We have discussed functions of business. What are the functions? Production, accounting and financing, human resource management, research and development, administration. Some of the functions of business organization. With grade 10 chapter 1, we have discussed functions of a business. Okay, two functions of business: production, human resource management, accounting and financing, administration, marketing. That's some of the functions of a business. Right. Problem number 2. State whether the following statements are true or false. After this question, we will get a break. State whether the following statements are true or false. True or false. True or false. Right. Come here. Specialized knowledge and dedication of employees are opportunities for business. True or false.
True.
True or false. Number true or false.
True.
Specialized knowledge and dedication of employees are opportunities for business.
False.
False.
Yes, false. They are strengths. Opportunities coming from the external environment. Specialized knowledge and dedication, internal environmental factor, strength. First one, false. Second one, human needs cannot be created, while wants are not essential to fulfill.
True.
False.
True.
True or false? Human needs cannot be created, while wants are not essential to fulfill. Yes, that is true. B. Second one, analyzing whether the business activities are conducted in an environmental manner is objective of the government.
True.
True or false? True or false? Analyzing whether the business activities are conducted in an environment friendly manner is an objective of government. True or false? Now I go to the graded textbook. In the graded textbook, stakeholders objectives. Go to page number 11, textbook. What are the objectives of government? Page number 11, textbook. Collecting taxes due, generating employment opportunities, increasing the domestic production. Those are the objectives of government. Come on. Look at the community. Analyzing whether the business activities are conducted in an environment friendly manner. Objective of business community. Okay then. Elamai, true or false? False. Answer is false. Not an objective of government.
Through the phone.
Okay. Ne? When you're providing answers for some of the questions, you can't deviate from textbook. You need to follow answers available in the textbook. When you're writing answers for some of the questions, nothing to do. That is also one of the objective of government. But students, you can write down in O level. Okay, for that one under government objective. You need to limit to the guideline and okay information given in the textbook. Okay, analyzing whether the business activities are conducted in environment right. Right. Okay, right. Lamai D. 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 Taking risks and innovations with regard to disease factors of production. D or false?
False. False. False.
That is false. Yes. That is because okay. When you go to problem 3, right. Compared to farmland and farmers. They sell to their own food companies and they have a special demand for these food and vegetables. But in the food and business in respect of the boundaries. But it's part of food and business. What are the suppliers? Suppliers, farmers. Okay, why the reason for that party you question about is interested in the business? Right? The reason for that party mentioned about is interested in the business. What's the answer? What's the answer? What's the answer? Suppliers. suppliers. Yeah. Secondary purpose. Okay, right, right. Done. Right, now the Roman 4. Roman 4. A superseded is a electrical engineer. He lasts a business of making seafood burgers. He has the business of making seafood burgers. He has people as workers and he had a new machine to improve the production of his business. He had a new machine to improve the production of his business. Machine is one example of this is an example.
Labor.
Yes, okay.
Sir, sir, කැඩි sir ඇහෙන්නේ.
I'm saying, connection is I move it around. Okay, yeah.
තාම නෑ sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. Can we
කැඩි තාම කැඩි sir ඇහෙන්නේ.
Single guess.
පොතේම කැඩි sir ඇහෙන්නේ.
Single guess. Right, David, therefore, okay,
චුට්ටක් එහෙම තමයි sir කැඩි චුට්ටක් තියෙන්නේ.
Here, write a business case and give one example. Question entrepreneurship.
sir labor ගන්න බෑද?
Okay.
labor.
දැන් පුළුවන් ගන්න. Entrepreneurship, tourism. And then labor, people working in the business, labor, people working in the business. Capital, inventor, new machine, capital, inventor, new machine. Example for factors of production, factors of production, and their example. And then B, part B, a source and inventor, new machine to the business. What is the business environment described in the above statement? First answer B.
Technology,
First answer B.
technology, environment, technological environment,
Technological environment. Technical environment. Answer B. Technical environment. We start at we start at 9:45. 9:45. Okay. 9:45. We start at 9:45. Right, now we'll start. Right, question number now question number 2, okay. Right, quickly go to question number 3. Right. What is mean by business environment? Coming how to define business environment? Business environment. The environment in which the factors affecting the business are activated. The environment in which the factors affecting the business are activated. Business environment. The environment in which the factors affecting the business are activated. Right. Right. Am I B? Look at the B. Write an example of a political environment factor and economic environmental factor each. Write an example of a political environment. What is one of the example of political environment? There are two examples. There are two examples in the political environment. What are they? Fiscal policy and infrastructure development policy. Fiscal policy and then infrastructure development policy. Example for economic environmental factor: interest rate, inflation, level of employment. Okay. Examples for economic environmental factor. Okay. Right. Now problem number 2. Look at the problem number 2. State whether the following statements are true or false. True or false. Private education institutions are example of a service providing business. Private education institutions are example of a service providing business. True or false?
True.
Yes,
True.
that is true. True. B. Employees of a business are an external environmental factor while customers are internal. True or false?
False.
False. C. Change in the lifestyle of consumers is a threat to the business.
True.
Just change in the lifestyle of consumers is a threat to the business. Yes, someone may be a threat or maybe an opportunity. Depend on the business. Now that is depend on the business. Change in the lifestyle of consumers, threat, maybe a threat or maybe an opportunity. But according to our textbook, now I go to the textbook. According to our textbook, change in lifestyle of consumers. According to our textbook, an opportunity. An opportunity. According to Great 10 textbook, change in lifestyle of consumers is an opportunity according to the textbook. But but that is depend on the business, nature of the business. Okay, right. Elama here, false. C false. Change in lifestyle of consumers is a to the business false. Now give me 1 minute. Right. Right. Now C false. D, when a country's savings increasing, the investment also will increase. C, true or false? C. C, true or false? When a country's savings increasing, investment will also increase. Now, true or false? True or false? True or false? Yes. Now that is true. That is true. Yes, true. Right. Roman number 3. Look at Roman number 3. Roman number 3. Changes in different factors in the global environment will have both positive and negative impact on the domestic business.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, at which time the class will finish?
Time is 10:30, but before 10:30 we will stop the class.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Right. Third one. Changes in the different factors in the global environment will have both positive and negative impact on domestic businesses. According to the above statement, right one, positive impact and negative impact from global environment. Positive impact and negative impact. What are the positive impact? Ability to obtain latest technology, positive impact. Okay, ability to obtain quality raw material, positive impact. Ability to obtain efficient machines. Okay, inflowing foreign capital, opportunity. Negative impact, creating a highly competitive environment, negative impact. Domestic skilled workers migrated to other countries, negative impact. Okay, positive impact and negative impact of global environment. Right. Problem number 4. A sales girl who worked in a ready-made garment shops has complained to the Divisional Labor Office of Labor Department that she was not paid salary for 2 months. What is the business environment described in the above case? What's the answer? What's the answer? What's the business environment described in the above case? Now, what's the answer? Legal environment. Legal environment. What's the business environment described in the above case? Legal environment. Legal. B. What is a legal act that gives power to the Labor Department to take actions regarding this matter? Now, what's a legal act? What's a legal act? Lamai, Shop and Office Employees Act number 14 of 1954. Shop and Office Employees Act number 14 of 1954. That's a legal act. That's legal. Lamai, we have discussed those acts. We have discussed in the class in detail. And I gave you a note as well. Legal act is Shop and Office Employees Act number 14 of 1954. Shop and Office Employees Act applicable for employees working shops and offices. Shops and offices. Okay, right. Done. Finished. Right, Lamai, I think it is better to stop the class. Number of students getting decreased because of tomorrow exams as well as schools. Okay, Lamai, we'll stop the class. Balance part of this paper we'll discuss coming Saturday or coming Sunday. I will inform you. Saturday night or Sunday night. Enough for the day. Enough for the day. Right, Lamai. Right. Good night.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
sir.
sir.
Right. Good night. Okay. Right.